Good evening, and welcome to the Patrick Mannelly Award dinner. We ask that you make your way to your seats so we can begin the program. Thank you. Good evening, and welcome to the Patrick Mannelly Award dinner. We ask that you make your way to your seats so we can begin the program. Thank you. Good evening to all of our guests and welcome to the third annual Patrick Mannelly Award Dinner. Please be advised this evening's program is being live streamed and recorded for future viewings. Please take a moment to welcome Therese Van Ryn, Director of Global Public Relations, Thought Leadership, and Advocacy at Zebra Technologies, our presenting sponsor and a strategic partner of Bernie's Book Bank.
Good evening. On behalf of Zebra Technologies, we are thankful to Bernie's Book Bank for the opportunity to be the presenting sponsor for tonight's event. We are grateful to the founders, Patrick, Kevin, and Chris, and are proud to join you in supporting this wonderful organization, Bernie's Book Bank. Zebra has been a strategic partner of Bernie's Book Bank for several years now, helping to support the organization's mission of increasing book ownership among underserved children. Zebra believes in doing well by doing good, and we support our employees and their families in giving back to the communities in which we live and work. One example of our philanthropic activities is publishing this children's book, Zippy's Special Gift. All of the proceeds from this book go to Bernie's Book Bank. It's available on Amazon now, and it's a wonderful holiday gift. Another reason we're excited to support tonight's event is that Zebra is the official on-field player tracking provider for the NFL. Through RFID tags that we place in the shoulder pads of every NFL player, including long snappers, Zebra's tracking system tags such metrics as ball location, player speed, and distance traveled. This data is used by the NFL to power what's called next-gen stats, which I'm sure all of you have seen on your TV screens during the games, and it also enhances the performance edge on the field. Now in our 7th year as an NFL partner, Zebra has tagged more than 3,000 players, deployed more than 13,000 RFID tags, and tracked over 150,000 plays. We congratulate the Patrick Mannelly Award finalists. We're very happy to support an event recognizing the best long snappers in college football, along with Bernie's Book Bank. Thank you all so much, and have a great evening.
Thank you to Zebra Technologies, whose generous support of the Patrick Mannelly Award and ongoing support of Bernie's Book Bank empowers thousands of Chicagoland children to read their way to a better life. And now, we'd like to welcome Patrick Mannelly.
First, I want to welcome everybody here tonight. This is absolutely awesome. This is something that was dreamed up about 4 years ago, and it's a reality now, and I kind of want to give you the rundown of why we're here and how we're here. Obviously know why we're here. We have our 3 finalists here today that could potentially win the College National Long Snapper of the Year, called the Mannelly Award, but I want to give you how this came about. 4 years ago, I got a phone call from Chris Rubio and Kevin Gold, and they said, listen, long snapper is a position in football. Lance Briggs might not agree with that, but it is a full-time position in football now, and there are college awards for punters, kickers, linebackers, centers, linemen, all those positions. And they called me and they said, listen, it's time for this to be a national award. And I said, 100%, let's do this. And how do we do this? And then they said, well, we want to name it after you. And I was like, oh, all right, thank you. That's an honor. That is truly an honor. But this is about the long snappers in college and the long snapping position. So we chatted for a while and we said, how do we do this? How do we get this done? And we looked at templates of other awards, other position awards, and how they've done things. And fortunately, we found Bernie's Book Bank to really help us out. If you know me, I'm a golfer. I was at a Bernie's Book Bank golf outing, and we were in the kind of the beginnings of how we were getting this thing done. And we said a lot of these awards have a charity that they're tied on with. And I talked to Brian Floriani and Darren Utnick, and I'm looking at them, and I'm having a cold beer after the round, and I'm talking about the award. I'm like, we need to partner with the charity, and they're looking at me, and I'm like, hey, dummy, how about us? So I was like, right, okay, yes, let's get this done. But without these guys and Bernie's Book Bank and all the work that has been done here and all the great things you guys do, we wouldn't be here. So we got to thank you guys very much for what you've done for us. Kevin and Chris, I would agree. But this is awesome. This is so cool. Year 3 to be here, a full room of people, having the families of the athletes here as well is very, very cool. So I thank you very much for that. In year 3, we are here. First year, we were able to do this live. John Shannon won the award from Notre Dame. Last year, you guys helped out a ton making it virtual. Thank you very much for that, and it's great to be here live as well so people watching at home can watch this. Thomas Fletcher won from Alabama. And now we're here, bigger and better than ever, and we're gonna keep moving forward. So I wanna congratulate those 2 winners before, and obviously I'll congratulate the winner later today, whoever wins. And I also wanna thank Lance Briggs, Frank Thomas, and Sarah Woldmoe being here tonight. He's gonna be up here with the one, the only David Kaplan, who's Mr. Media Chicago. So you're gonna have a great presentation tonight with those 3 athletes up here, great Chicago athletes, and then we're getting to the festivities and we're gonna find out the winner here. With that being said, let's enjoy the night.
Born in a garage in 2009, but destined to become an American institution.
Bernie's Book Bank is the city's largest literacy
free
program
books
for
from
at-risk
Bernie's
youth.
book in the hands of all Chicago area kids.
Inspired by the life, the story, the journey, the significance, the memory of Dr. Bernard P. Floriani, this is Bernie's Book Bank, where we believe in the legitimate pursuit of happiness, where we stand up for all children who desire to read their way to a better life. We are loyal warriors for literacy, with a sense of urgency, energy, edge, and a laser-like focus. We operate like a business and think like a brand.
Building a children's book bank model that can be replicated in every major city in the country.
We strive to be your partner, not your charity. We strive to serve 10 million at-risk American children each year with 12 quality books, 120 million books per year.
If we want these children to have a chance to pursue happiness, they need to own books, they need to become proficient readers.
Together, all of us, all ages, all abilities, achieving significance at the highest level for the most noble cause. This is our history, our present, our future. We are Bernie's Book Bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Darren Utnick, the CEO of Bernie's Book Bank.
Well, we said it last year, and I think I meant it, but I said we were going to be back here in person for this great event, and we are. And I'm so excited to say that we're here. I'm so thankful that we're here. And I just want to start my comments tonight with some of my favorite thing to do, which is thank people. And it's really important for us at Bernie's Book Bank to say thank you. And it means a ton to us. And it's Saturday night. We can blow this roof off. We can be loud. We can have some fun. So the names that I'm going to say thank you to, if you support them, if you like them, go ahead. Give them a couple cheers. Just like Lance did for Patrick. I didn't hear mine that loud. Thank you. That warms my heart. Lloyd, thank you. So I first want to start by thanking our presenting sponsor, Zebra Technologies. You heard from Therese. They've been a partner that walks the walk. They're a top-notch organization and their technology, and you heard what they're doing with their great work in the NFL and other technology here at Bernie's Book Bank. They're helping us streamline how we process these books. But they're also a very philanthropic organization. And so please give a huge round of applause to one of our strategic partners, Zebra Technologies. I want to thank our effectiveness sponsor, Kinter. There you go. Our teamwork sponsors, Baxter Credit Union, the Chicago Bears, the Eisminger family, IT Supplies, Molo, and William Blair. Our sportsmanship sponsors, Cognos HR and Done Deal Promotions. Our technology sponsor, who Patrick mentioned, the incredible Notified by Entrado. Thank you, guys. I want to give special thanks to Aurelio's Pizza, Lynx Video, Catering by Michaels, Tighthead Brewing Company, and Tribal Media Company. Thank you. And last, I would like to thank our strategic partners, Avi, KPMG, Obvious Shirts, and Zebra. Thank you. So there's been many lessons we've learned over the past couple years, and I think the biggest one that we've learned here at Bernie's Book Bank is you have to be nimble and you have to be ready to pivot. And tonight my comments are no different because I rewrote them this morning at about 5:30. I did that because yesterday we had such an amazing day with the finalists that it changed how I wanted to talk about it tonight. The finalists went to Hope Elementary with us and distributed books and read books to the children that we serve. And I had one student by the name of Jemiah, and I went up to Jemiah and I asked her if she got any books in her bag that she was looking forward to reading. And she said, I asked for a book, a Trolls book, the Disney characters, for Christmas, but I didn't think I would get one. And I don't know how you guys knew, but you guys got me one. It's in this bag. Thank you. That was also at 9 a.m. and I got a little choked up and she ruined me for the rest of the day. So I was a little happy and a little upset at the same time. But watching the excitement on her face and watching the other children is simply incredible. There's nothing like it. I'm so proud of this organization and to be part of this organization. Everybody's gone through tough times, and when the pandemic hit, rather than shutting down our doors, we reached out to our partners and asked if they needed us. And they said, we need you now more than ever. So we decided we were going to move forward. In 2020, without a volunteer in this building, we normally welcome about 40 to 45,000 annually. A team of 32 procured, processed, and distributed 1.3 million books. This year, we were able to welcome volunteers back on a limited basis in July, and I'm so proud to say we're going to distribute a little over 1.6 million books. And in October of this year, we hit a huge milestone. In 12 years, we distributed 20 million books. We gave out our 20 millionth book in October. It's just an incredible feat. Now, as I said, none of this would be possible without our supporters and investors. If you are so inclined tonight and have the ability to do so, you'll find that there's envelopes on your tables, there's QR codes, and for those of you that are live streaming with us tonight, you can text to give or you can check out our website. I hope that you view this as an investment and not a donation. As the video said, we want to be your partner and not your charity. We all know, actually my financial advisor's in the crowd tonight, that there's no sure thing when it comes to investments. However, I will tell you this, I have a hunch that Jemiah and the other children we serve are going to pay huge dividends with the books that Bernie's Book Bank provides to them on an annual basis. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming out tonight. and please enjoy your dinner.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Kaplan, co-host of Cap and J Hood on ESPN 1000. David also hosts multiple programs on NBC Sports Chicago. In October this year, David was inducted into the Chicago Sports Hall of Fame. David's commitment to Bernie's Book Bank led to the creation of the annual Walk as One Chicago, which has raised significant funds for Bernie's Book Bank's mission. David Kaplan.
Thank you, Joey. It's such an honor to be here. 2 years ago, we were here. We had a blast last year. We were reduced to having to do it virtually. It was still amazing. But to have everybody back in this room for this amazing organization, give yourselves a hand for all being here. So 2 years ago, my friend Patrick Mannelly calls me and says, hey, would you be willing to come MC this event? And it was going to be Olin Kreutz and Charles Tillman, and we're going to do this discussion. And I knew nothing at that point about Bernie's. Well, I come in here, and I'm blown away by what they do. I do some research. I'm like, that place is amazing. And then I become really good friends with Darren. And it was last, I don't know, September, first week of September. And we have an election going on where both sides hate each other and we're so divided. And then if you're a Cubs fan, you hate the Sox. If you're a Sox fan, you hate the Cubs. And I just think that's stupid. Like, you could be a Cubs fan like I am, but I don't root against the White Sox just when they play my team. And I'm like, we got to do something for unity. So we had this meeting at my radio station. I said, I'm going to walk home from work one day, and I'm going to raise money for a charity, and I'm going to call it this Unity Walk. And I got a jersey that was half Cubs, half White Sox, and they said, what charity do you want? Well, at that point, my mom was dying of Alzheimer's and of cancer at the same time. And I'm like, yeah, but both those organizations get billions of dollars of funds. Where could I make the most impact? So I called Patrick, and I said, hey, man, do you think Bernie's would be up for this? Yes. He calls Darren and says, Cap's going to call you. And like 30 seconds later, his phone was ringing. Hey, man, I know it's like 3 weeks. I want to do this on the 28th of September. But you think your team would be up for this? Yes. We raised, I don't know, $95,000 in 3 weeks. We did it again this year. We raised $150-some thousand for this group here. And I want to do it every single year. Bernie's Book Bank is amazing. Like, there may be... Like, I get to do really cool things. Like, tomorrow night, when we upset the Green Bay Packers, I'm going to get to host the football after show with Lance Briggs, who's right there, with Olin Kreutz, and with Alex Brown. I mean, we sit in the conference room, we eat food, we watch the Bears play, and then we go spend 2 hours on TV talking about it. Like, it's, like, that's not really working. But we went on the walk this year, and we stopped at a school. And when we walked up to the school, there had to be 500 kids outside. There's news crews there, and I had this mother come up, and she's crying. We have no books. We have no Wi-Fi. I can't afford to get books, and what you guys are doing is amazing. I said, I pointed to Darren. I go, that's the guy right there. And her daughter came up with this bag of books. This is the greatest day of the school year when I get my books. And I said to multiple people here, the founder, I said it to Darren, there may be some kid who's homeless, who gets one of these books, and 20 years from now, how did you learn to read and how did you become this person? Well, Bernie's Book Bank got me books and he just cured cancer. You never know where those books will go to impact somebody's life that otherwise would have no chance. So to be here tonight, it's amazing. I want to welcome to the stage, we're going to have a great fun panel discussion. And if there's anybody that has a question, if you want to yell me a question, I'll be glad to try and get as many in as we can. I want to welcome first to the stage, he was a first ballot Hall of Famer in Major League Baseball. He is a good friend of mine. I believe he is the greatest right-hand hitter in the history of the sport. Like, I'm not saying it because he's sitting there, but if you go back and look at Frank Thomas's first 8 years, there is no hitter in the history of the sport that did what he did. Every single season, he was a monster. He is a wonderful guy. He's a Chicago guy. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer, Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt.
That was bad timing.
My guy.
That steak just got there. You got me to come up here? What's going on, my friend?
My guy.
Thank you.
Sarah Woldmoe is a midfielder for the Chicago Red Stars. They just got to the championship game. She was, how about that? She was the 3-time Gatorade Indiana Player of the Year in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and then got recruited to go play at, I would love to go to college at UCLA. How cool would that be to get, no disrespect to Fort Wayne, Indiana, but when you land in Westwood, wow, what a difference. And I'm really excited to have her here tonight. All-American soccer player, amazing person. The Red Stars are a great partner with Bernie's Book Bank. My friend Vicki Lynch came out on our walk with your mascot. Sarah, come on up to the stage. And then one of my partners on the Football After Show, he's a 7-time Pro Bowler, 3 times an All-Pro, and I thought I knew all the stats about Lance Briggs until I found this one when I was researching him. I'm like, I don't really need to research him, but I'm going to look it up anyway. Lance's first interception of his NFL career was a pick 6 at Lambeau Field of Brett Favre. He will be in the Hall of Fame. He deserves to be there. My friend Lance Briggs of the Chicago Bears.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to start with you, Lance. Tomorrow we have to play that crew from Green Bay.
Yep.
And I know they've had our number for a while, but I feel like if the Bears have any temerity.
Temerity, you love that word.
I love that word.
One of my favorite words of yours.
Like, if they have any balls, they're going to show up tomorrow night ready to compete. Aaron Rodgers says, I own you. I would think tomorrow you're having your manhood challenged. You're going to show up ready to compete. What do you think about the matchup tomorrow?
I think that was pretty aggressive, but but I agree. I agree with you. I think if this game means anything to you, I think as kids we become competitors, and I think the competitive side should always get the better of you. And so as you get older, you shouldn't need any motivation to compete. It should be already ingrained inside of you. So with that being said, and knowing that this is your greatest rival, you should be ready to compete. You should be ready to win, to go out and win the game.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a really competitive game tomorrow. I really do.
You do?
I do. Lance doesn't.
Listen.
The line is 11.5.
I want to know what the numbers are now.
11.5. I'm taking the points tomorrow. If we lose 48-10, I'll drive Matt Nagy out of town myself.
I feel it.
Trust me, he won't be around much longer.
It's true.
It is what it is. Sarah, let me ask you about growing up as an athlete. You're in Fort Wayne, Indiana. You're 3 times Gatorade Player of the Year. How did UCLA, Fort Wayne to UCLA, because there was really good programs in the Big Ten. What made you pick UCLA?
The weather.
Getting out of Fort Wayne.
No, I mean, a fantastic program, fantastic school. Excited about the education there as well. And when I got the offer, honestly, my parents were like, "You're going to take this because this is amazing." So just a great program all around, and super happy to be a Bruin.
What's it like being a pro soccer player?
Oh, it's even better. It's awesome. I love playing for the Red Stars, and I love playing for this city. Chicago's a fantastic city to play for, and it's awesome.
So, Frank, you went to Auburn.
Yes.
What was it like? You were, I believe, a football and baseball star, and then you end up with the Chicago White Sox. Did you ever think about playing in the NFL?
Yeah, but it came down to a business decision. You know, either play 3 years in the NFL, 3 and done, or make baseball a career, and it worked out well. Almost 20 years in the major leagues, so I kind of made the right decision.
Okay, I think Lance is going to be in the Hall of Fame, and he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. I watched him play a lot. Yes.
So you were a first ballot Hall of Famer. When you knew the day was going to be of the announcements, did you wait? Did you sleep all night? Were you nervous? You were up all night.
I was up all night, even until I got the call. You know, it was just one of those things that you just never know if it's going to happen or not. They had all these things going on. They're rating you. You got a chance here. Maybe you fell a little short. You know, they got ways to scare you nowadays when those votes come out. So I was excited when I got the call. Listen, I was a little disappointed in the number, but I'm happy I got in first ballot.
Okay, so when the phone rings, you don't know if that's the Hall of Fame or Amazon calling with a delivery.
They give you a little window. If it's going to happen, you got like a 10-minute window, and you get that call in that 10 minutes, you got the call.
So your heart's pounding.
Oh, yeah.
And how did they tell you?
Well, I got the call like 9 minutes and 45 seconds later. And because we had a big class, we had 6 guys to go in, and I was the last one to get the call because of my name, Thomas. We had 3 managers and 2 other great players.
And so you answer it, and it's
yes.
I think it was Jeff, the head of the Hall of Fame. And
Jeff.
what does he say?
Frank Thomas, yes. Welcome to the Hall.
Wow.
It's a beautiful moment in time.
Pretty amazing.
It really was. But I got a better call. On the way to the airport, it was my wife and kids. We were going to New York, and got a call on my phone. I'm like, who the hell's calling me here? It's like the worst thing I've ever seen. Like no ID, and right away I answered. Said Frank Thomas. I said yes. Hold for the president. And it was Barack Obama called me, and I was like, holy shit. So if the president ever called you, you're gonna see a number that something you've never seen on your phone ever. It was amazing.
And it's funny because I ran into him when he was a U.S. Senator at a Northwestern game because his brother-in-law was coaching there.
Yes.
And he's sitting there in this dirty White Sox hat. And I walked up to him and I said, Senator, yeah, I'm David Kaplan. I broadcast for the Cubs. Let me get you a much nicer hat. And he looked at me, he goes, I will never put a Chicago Cubs hat on my head, ever.
Big White Sox fan, it really is.
Pretty funny. So, Lance, playing linebacker with Brian Urlacher, what is that like knowing I've got this amazing dude next to me? Does it put more pressure on you or make your job that much easier?
I think it depends on your mind frame. You know, my mind frame when I was drafted by the Bears was I need to make this team, you know, and I need to prove to every one of these guys that I belong on their starting 11. And so, you know, me and Mannelly were talking earlier because I was on special teams, but in my head I knew I was better than special teams. You know, no offense, Mannelly, no offense, Mannelly. But I, you know, I was determined to prove that I should be a starter on this team. And my rookie year, me and Brian didn't talk a lot because, you know, rookies, you know, I believe rookies, you see them, you don't hear them. So, you know, I wanted to go out and prove that I belong before anybody can start hearing me. And once I was able to prove that I belong, then I didn't shut up.
So,
yes. Okay.
You and Brian, every game, tackle machines. How much competition was between you two guys at the end of the game when you get on the bus to see who had the most tackles?
So, this is a good question. I forget which year, but the last game of the year was Minnesota. And in this game, Lovey kept telling us, he was like, you know, we're the starters, you guys are going to play, you know, a quarter. And as they brought us out, you know, I'm 3 years younger than Brian, so me and him are tackle. He's beat me by 1 tackle in the season. So he's like, you know, Lovey's like, hey, we're bringing the defense out after this series. And I'm looking at the stats, and I'm like, I'm still down by 1 tackle. So I'm like, Lovey, can I stay in for 1 more series? Brian over here is like, no. If he's staying in, I'm staying in. So to answer your question, yes, we competed. Yes, we competed.
So Patrick told me a story earlier tonight. So Lance is on special teams, and Patrick goes up to the special teams coach, Mike Sweatman, and says, this guy Lance Briggs on the line here, he's the rookie. He's going to get a punt block because he has no interest in being out here.
That was good.
And he said, well, he's not going to be on special teams much longer because he's going to be an all-pro. And Mannelly goes, he is? Yes, he's going to be an all-pro. He ended up doing it 3 times.
They were both right.
So you played in a championship game, what, a month ago? Mm-hmm. What was that experience like for you? And what was your nerves like? Because you're playing for a championship.
Yeah, I think any championship is going to bring some nerves. I think that shows how much you care about the game and about your team, but it was such a cool experience. My first championship in the NWSL, so it had been a while since I had been in a championship, so I think I kind of fed off some of those players who have been in championships, but overall it was a great experience.
You also, I believe, won with UCLA the NCAA Cup. Mm-hmm. Did that experience prepare you to play in a championship game?
I definitely think any championship game is going to prepare you for the next. But like I said, it had been a while, so it's almost like I kind of forgot, if I'm being honest. So, but yeah, I think that one championship to the next, it definitely prepares you.
Frank, what is it like being this Hall of Fame baseball player, but you look back on your numbers and they're just eye-popping? Like I knew your numbers. I went back and looked at them again. I truly meant what I said. I think you're the greatest right-hand hitter in the history of the sport.
Well, the fuel that drove me was to win a championship here and to win many. But we just didn't get enough help back in the early 90s.
Right.
You see the White Sox now, they're piling that lineup, they're piling everything, and I'm like, where it was in the early 90s, because we had a chance of winning some championships back then, and at that point, the team really took off, and honestly, we were selling that ballpark out every night, so, you know, it really didn't matter to win a championship back then, I guess, to the front office at that point. They wanted it, but they didn't want it as bad as they want it right now. So I've been watching it over the last 5 years. I can't believe the lineups that they're piling together now. And the pitching they're putting together now, if we'd have had a couple more pitchers, we could have won more championships. No doubt about it.
So what is it, your mindset when you get in the batter's box and you're facing an ace? Mm-hmm. Were there guys where, wow, this is going to be a tough job today, or the ball looked like a grapefruit to you?
For me, I was better against the aces. You know, it's the guys that I didn't give as much, I gave all the guys respect, but it was guys I didn't worry about as much as the ones that got me out more. The aces, I was on my A game, and I made it happen a lot against the aces. I think my numbers they speak for themselves against all the Hall of Fame pitchers. You know, the career stats against Hall of Fame, they're eye-popping for me.
So something I've always wanted to ask you is, you know, we all sit at home and we see 101, 99. Are you always looking fastball and adjusting to the curve, or I'm looking curve because I know I can catch the fastball?
No, I always look fastball every pitch. I never guess with any pitcher. Never, ever, ever. And that's why I never got hit in the head. You know, you watch guys all the time. I mean, you see so many guys almost get hit in the head. You see guys get in the head. That's because they're guessing. Location or guessing pitches. I never did that. I watched the ball out of the pitcher's hand every time, and I always look for the fastball and adjust to the breaking stuff. Just kept me through the center of the diamond all the time.
Sarah, where do you see your career go when you're done playing? Do you want to coach? What would you say to a young girl that's sitting out here watching on the stream going, I want to be her?
Yes, I definitely want to coach. I see that for myself and, just any player who's growing up. I think that we have a platform that we can use to inspire others, and I hope that we can be an inspiration to them, but just to stay focused in what you're doing, your schoolwork, your practice, and just look forward to what's ahead and just keep working.
What's it like being a pro athlete? You have your husband here. I mean, it's like a partnership as you go through it, right? Are you the person who comes home after a bad game that throws the remote through the TV, or you can leave it at the stadium? Because some people can't.
I think it kind of depends on the game. I think there's been a couple remotes thrown in my day. But no, it's fantastic having him, and he's always open ears and always encouraging, and my #1 fan, and that's amazing.
Lance, what were you like after a game?
Win or loss?
Both.
If we lost, it was tough. It was tough. I was a hard person to be around. I'm kind of a sore loser in that sense. I don't want to watch TV. I don't want to watch the success of other teams. I want to watch your highlights, and we just lost. And the game is always running through my head. There's plays that are running through my head all the time when in win or loss, but more so in a loss because I'm always thinking about what could have done differently to change the outcome of the game.
How about after a win, were you the guy that was tearing it up on town, or like what if you won tomorrow night?
You were, listen, me and my family, we enjoyed ourselves, okay? We celebrated together. Team that celebrates together wins together, okay?
Big time. Frank, what were you like after a tough day? 0 for 4, left 6 guys on. Like, what was Frank Thomas like?
You know what? Just have a couple beers and relax, because baseball, you play so many games in a row. And it's easy to get over when you're playing a 162-game schedule. But no, I was never happy after I lost or go 0 for 4. But that's one thing about baseball was great. You get another chance tomorrow. And these other sports like football, you got to wait a whole 7 days to get it over again. And we never had that problem. Most time we get a day off at the most, and then you're ready to play again, or it happens again the next day. So it's easy to keep things moving positively.
Nutrition, sleep analysis, like all that stuff's so different today. How much does that factor in for you, Sarah? Diet and nutrition, and Tom Brady sleeps in like a chamber. Like, it's at a different level.
It is. It's huge. I loved it so much that I got 2 certificates, one in health coaching, one in sports nutrition. I absolutely love it. I think that it can make a huge difference on the field if you really pay attention to those things. So something else I would probably tell young athletes, just start getting in good habits as you grow up and getting in good routines, because those things do make a difference, because it's inches when you get to this level, or centimeters, that can make a huge difference.
When you guys, Lance, when you see Tom Brady, he's 45, he's probably going to win the MVP at 45. And the other day he said, I think I can play till I'm 50, 51. Like, I can't believe a human being. I think we're going to find out someday that dude wasn't human. He was a robot.
Okay.
But
it's one thought.
Your thoughts about him?
My thought is, we've done a great job of protecting our quarterbacks in the NFL. We've changed a lot of rules. We've changed a lot of rules and allowed guys to play at your position to play a lot longer.
That is true.
And that's, a Tom Brady back in the 90s, early 2000s probably would be shutting it down at this point, because the rules were different then. Obviously, player safety is a top priority, but at the same time, there are things that are happening now where, a guy tries to tackle a quarterback and he falls on top of him and it's a flag. Right now in 2021, we're still trying to figure out what taunting is. Guys are getting flagged for taunting, and we don't know exactly what taunting is. So it's an interesting space right now.
How much trash talking went on when you were at linebacker?
I talk with my pads. A lot.
In your eyes.
So a lot, yeah.
How about for you, Frank? How much trash talking went on the field?
A lot. A lot went on, especially guys coming to first base, they say a lot of stuff. They try to get in your head, they say whatever, but it was part of the game, especially in the 90s. It changed in the 2000s, but the early 90s when I was a young buck, A lot of older players, it's a lot of trash talking.
But there had to be times you're at first base, and I actually like that dude, and you're just having a conversation about not baseball.
It's a lot of fun, but a lot of trash talking started there. You know, guys are like, oh, you get nothing tonight. We're going to shut you down. We blah, 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 blah. We know this is whatever. You know, we start talking trash. They try to get you out of the game. It's just what it is. You know, that's baseball, especially catchers. Catchers are the worst. They really start talking a lot. You know, they're saying a lot of crap back there to try to get you off the game. You know, they, oh man, that was a strike, whatever. You know, like, dude, come on, I'm trying to concentrate. You know, but they do it a lot just to get you off the game. That's
Right, leave
me
alone.
Yes, I mean, that's just part of the game.
How much talking goes on in a soccer game?
A little bit. There's a little bit out there. It's more towards the ref than anything else, I would say.
But not the other team coming at you?
There's a little, there's a little fighting going on out there. Yeah, it gets chippy.
Were there other sports you played as a kid before soccer took over your life?
I played basketball a little bit.
And did you ever think about being a college basketball player or no?
Barely. I loved soccer more, and so I stopped playing after freshman year of high school. Stopped playing basketball.
Okay, so I was that guy that went, ugh, soccer, not enough scoring. And one of my kids who was a college football player, he fell in love with soccer. And so our kids give us a list. Here's what we want for Christmas and for Hanukkah. I'm Jewish, my wife's not. And so his list had one thing on it. Every other kid's got a list like that. He's got a list. Promise me someday you'll take me to see Manchester United play in England. Oh, wow. So I tried to get tickets, couldn't get them. I meet this dude. He says, hey, I have a friend who's part of the ownership of Man U. We'll get you tickets. So we flew over there in 2018. We saw Chelsea at Manchester United. And what we think, like tomorrow night, Bears-Packers is a rivalry, that's kids' play compared to what they do there. They take the visitors and they get one little corner where they can sit. Every other section, you can't go from section to section because of the fighting. They sing throughout the game, and the rest of the stadium is all Manchester United. Like, it's intense.
Yes, it is very much so. I'm
And
very
I
jealous.
fall in love with it then. I watched the Premier League. It's amazing.
It is. It's so exciting. Today's games were great.
So I just needed to mature a little bit. Lance, toughest person you ever had to go up against? Like, oh God, I don't want to have to deal with this guy today.
There's never been anyone that I didn't want to go up against, but toughest guys, Adrian Peterson comes to mind, LaDainian Tomlinson comes to mind, Logan Mankins. Logan Mankins played for the New England Patriots. I went to Fresno State, and we rarely played the Patriots, but he was a guard, and he was very quiet on the field, but he was very violent. And I remember running at him to hit him, and he put his hands on me, grabbed me, and my motion, everything just stopped, you know, and I started going the opposite direction. And I couldn't stop, I couldn't stop him. And I remember leaving that game, like I've never played anybody like this before. And after he was done with me, he just walked back to the huddle, no words, no nothing else, just, I'm gonna do this again. It was just the message of, you do this again, I'm gonna do this again to you. And I'll never forget Logan Mankins.
Toughest person you ever faced?
Jeff Nelson, reliever.
For the
Had my
Mariners
number. He
and
was
the
the Frank
Yankees.
Thomas rally killer. It was Seattle and the Yankees.
Right.
He got through 98, 6'8", but he had a breaking ball, the largest breaking ball in the game. So there was one guy that I kind of guessed a little bit ever in my career, but I could never figure him out. His breaking ball and his fastball, both were deadly, and you had to sit in between. So I was like 3 for 36 against him career. So he told me, he was a Frank Thomas rally killer.
So he was Aaron Rodgers to you.
Yes, he owned me. What's bad is when I retired, we worked together for MLB.com. We worked together, we were partners. So he's bringing it up almost every day, and I'm like, dude, knock it off. But it was fun.
Yeah,
He's a good dude, he really is. He's a great dude.
Sarah, the best player you've ever either played against or watched?
Ooh, I'd probably say Marta. She's a Brazilian footballer. She's actually in the book on the table that we're sitting at right now. But she will dribble circles around you out there. She's still playing, and she's incredible. So, Marta.
I watched the Team USA, the women's Team USA, and it was amazing to me to see how our whole country got caught up in that. That had to give you great pride to see everybody come together, not only over your sport, but the women's team.
Yes, absolutely. It's so neat that, majority of those players play in our league, just dispersed throughout our league. So when they come back, our crowds get bigger, we get more fans, and it's really exciting atmospheres.
Lance, your favorite rivalry other than the Green Bay Packers? Because that Green Bay had to be number one, right?
No.
Who's number one?
AFU. See, we were in the Pac-12, or Pac-12 now, and her rival is USC. Mine are the Scum Devils from Phoenix. All right.
Arizona State.
Right. That's what they call them. That's what they like to call them. But yeah, that was the most intense rivalry I've ever been a part of. I remember my freshman year walking out to the game, and it was in Tucson. No, it was in Phoenix. And walking out, I remember there was an old lady. She had to be, I want to say, she had to be like probably 70s. And, I thought it was a sweet old lady, and she starts flipping me off and cussing at me. And that's when I was like, this is a real rivalry.
And you loved it.
Right. I was like, this must date back.
So I've interviewed a bunch of great athletes like the three of you, and 98% of them tell me it's more fun to win on the road because you shut up. In football, 75 to 100,000 people. In baseball, it's 50,000 or 50,000 in soccer. Is it more fun to win if you could beat the Packers? Would you rather do it in Lambeau or at Soldier Field?
I just want to do it.
Upset tomorrow.
Don't care. Right. Don't care.
Frank, your best rival is the Minnesota Twins or Auburn or Alabama?
Alabama.
Because he went to Auburn.
I went to Auburn, and I'm telling you right now, that was the biggest rivalry I could ever be part of. At least two coaches lose their job every year from each side, whoever loses the game. If you're having a bad season, you would make your season just by beating Alabama. Auburn almost beat Alabama 2 weeks ago, and everyone was like, they were like a 20-point underdog, and they should have won that football game because they were trying to make their season. But I've never seen anything like it. The intensity of that state of hate on each side of the fence, I've never seen anything like it.
In every sport or just football?
Just football. Life or death. Pat's from Atlanta, he knows. He's heard about that rivalry. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. Never. And I'm a Georgia boy, so I got in the middle of it. I'm like, what the heck? So they hate each other.
So what made you pick Auburn?
Closer to home. And Vince Dooley told me he was going to redshirt me in baseball. I had to play football 2 years, and I said, nope, I got to play some baseball next year. Pat Dye gave me the chance to play and walk on the next year. That's why.
When you narrowed things down, was UCLA offered I'm in, or there was somebody else, they were close?
No, that was it. I committed between my freshman and sophomore year of high school, so it was like I knew right away I wanted it.
Okay, so you're committing that early. You're obviously a prodigy. You're really good coming up. You're not waiting till late in your high school days. What is that like? Because it puts a lot of pressure on you.
It does, and obviously UCLA is taking a risk and putting a lot of trust in me and my development, but just got to trust the process. And I was willing to work and keep my head on straight and make sure that I was doing what I needed to do.
And no regrets ever going there.
No regrets.
An amazing experience.
Oh, yeah.
Lance, who did you consider besides Arizona?
UCLA. No, my top.
Westwood.
My top three choices at that time was it was USC, Nebraska, and Arizona. I honestly would have gone to USC, but I missed Pete Carroll by a year. Nebraska and Arizona were two top 10 teams. They both played great defense, and at the time they played a bowl game against each other. That was when I first got to see Mike Brown play defensive football, and I was inspired. I was like, this guy can play ball. Next thing you know, I end up playing with him for Chicago Bears, on the Chicago Bears. But there was something about Arizona's defense that was a little different, you know, than even Nebraska's. You know,
Desert Swarm.
Yeah, it was Desert Swarm. They had a cornerback that it was random. It was a pitch, but this really was one of the deciding factors. And there was a pitch, and this corner came from the side of from the sideline. He took out the fullback. The fullback took out the tailback, and I was like, holy moly! I got to go where corners hit like this. You know, that guy ended up being a first-round pick to Baltimore, Chris McAllister, and he had a great career. He had a great career. And I was like, wow, this is where I need to be. You know, we want to play defense.
All right, before I let you all go, Frank, are you a sports fan? Like, if you have a night where you're not doing an appearance or you're not traveling to go do Fox or MLB, whatever it is, are you on the couch watching sports?
Every night. I love sports. I mean, I'm a huge football fan. That's why you guys know I talk football more than I do baseball, 'cause I love football.
Yeah.
You know, I was a football player. I grew up in the South. Football was everything. I just made a business decision. You know, football was everything in South Georgia. I was lucky to be able to play baseball the way I could. But if I did it all over and I'd have started my freshman year in Auburn, I never know how it worked out. You know, but I was a backup player to an All-American tight end, Walter Reeves. And I was like, wait a minute, All-American first year in baseball, it was easy to make that decision.
Did you have a player growing up, that was my guy, that was my...
Easily, Hank Aaron. You know, I'm watching, you know, Hank Aaron was my guy. You know, the pride he brought our family, and just hearing all the stories from my uncles who were baseball junkies. You know, every night it was Hank Aaron, Hank Aaron, Hank Aaron. And I was a little kid, and I remember him breaking the record, and all of them were at the house. So, amazing.
Did you grow up with an athlete, male or female, that you went, I want to be like that?
Probably the 99ers, the team that won the World Cup in 1999. Just that entire squad was so inspiring. They filled out the Rose Bowl for that championship, and loved seeing Brandy Chastain on the front page of the news.
That was pretty amazing. Are you a sports fan? Like, I interviewed Tim Anderson, and Tim Anderson's like, I'm not really a sports fan. Baseball's boring. I just play.
Right.
But a lot of people, they're on their couch watching whatever game. Are you a sports fan? You and your husband sitting there watching basketball or baseball or hockey or football?
He's laughing right now because the only thing that is on our TV is sports all week. Football most of the time, or real football, as we call it.
Real football.
But either or. Yep.
So do you have a Premier League team that you follow too?
Man City.
Oh, that's my arch rival. No, I'm a Manchester United fan. Man City's better.
They're pretty good. They're all good.
Are you a sports fan?
I am.
What do you like to watch?
I like to watch everything.
Everything.
I grew up, my sisters were my inspirations growing up, so, you know, I watched a lot of women's sports growing up, you know, and my sisters were heavy competitors, you know, and some of the best games that I watched were them competing, you know, and so it's obviously as I get older, you know, I love to see the competitive blood, you know, and I love to see your passion. You can always see it when someone wants to compete, and so I get a lot out of that.
All right, before I let you go, prediction on the game tomorrow night.
I'll tell you right now, I'm not putting money on the Bears. I'm being honest with you. I want to know, are you going to put money on the Bears?
I already did.
All right, sounds good.
Matt Nagy, line one.
Yeah.
The line is 11.5, and I'm just going to tell you the Bears will cover that line.
They'll cover? There's some prop bets in there. There's some prop bets that we can win.
I'm not telling you I'm stupid enough to think they're going up there and I'm going to predict that they're going to win. But if they have any pride, tomorrow night they show up and compete.
Oh, Cap.
Compete.
Okay. All right.
Thank you all for being up here.
Thank you.
And congrats on all of your success. How about a hand for all three of them?
Awesome.
All right.
Great job, guys.
Good job, y'all.
Wonderful.
All right, I think we're going to serve dessert now. Is that correct? Dessert will be served, and in about 5 minutes, we will have our honor roll introduction, and then we'll get on with the business of presenting the winner of the Patrick Mannelly Award. I'll see you in about 5 minutes.
Please welcome our Patrick Mannelly Award co-founders, Kevin Gold and Chris Rubio. Kevin Gold is an NFL PA certified contract advisor and creator of the award-winning website longsnap.com. He is a founding partner at the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania law firm Pillar Ott. Chris Rubio is a long snapping trainer who started at UCLA as a long snapper for 3 years. His long snapper camp is the longest running in the nation, with over 1,000 long snappers going to college and the NFL. Mr. Rubio was recently featured on the Freakonomics podcast and the Adam Carolla Show.
All right, I want to thank everyone for coming, especially our celebrity panel. Lance, thank you very much. You are quite entertaining, and I wish to talk more stories with you later. Sarah, go Bruins. Frank, you have a beautiful head. I'm one of the founders. My name is Chris Rubio. This is Kevin Gold. Obviously, everyone knows Patrick Mannelly. Us three got this award together. I'm so excited for it. We all have our roles. He's the agent / brains. Mannelly is Mannelly. And I haven't figured out my role, but just they kind of let me just go with social media and do my thing and tell stories and get excited. So I'm very passionate about this award, not because it was so needed for so long. I've spoken about it countless times where you have a linebacker award, quarterback, lineman, fullback, tailback, all that good stuff. You have a kicker and a punter award, but not the human being that gives them the ball to start their play. And so it basically pissed me off enough to where I called Kevin and where we have to make this happen. So I want to thank you guys all for coming out here. Zebra Technologies, Bernie's, give them a round of applause once more. And I want to congratulate Cal, Damon, Alex. You guys are phenomenal long snappers. We spent all day with them yesterday, and they are even better human beings, and that's one of the best things about this award. It gives credit to these guys that no one ever sees them, hears them, knows their name unless they do something incorrect. And I always say, the long snapper is the hardest position in football, and I will explain myself. Lance, you're obviously a phenomenal human being and player. You can make 18 tackles in a game and miss 2. That was the best game ever. If Damon, Alex, or Cal has 10 perfect snaps and 1 bad one, they're fired. And they're upside down and backwards. So give it up to them again. And now I present to you Kevin Gold.
Thank you. Personally, it's an honor for me to be here among great athletes, soccer players, football players, baseball players. I want to give a shout out to Bernie's for making a podium that actually fits a non-athletic person like me. This is perfect, but I want to echo what Chris and what Mannelly has said. This was an award that was long overdue. I've spent my career, believe it or not, representing mostly NFL long snappers, and they don't get a lot of attention, and they kind of live anonymously until we can have an event like this where we can kind of put them in the spotlight and give them the attention they truly deserve. So Rubio's mentioned all the great parts of the award and alluded to yesterday. I want to echo what Darren said about Hope Elementary. Personally, that was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. I got the opportunity to deliver books to a number of children, and as a lawyer, you don't get kids smiling at you. You don't get anybody smiling at you when you approach them. So to have a child smile, to make a difference, to see the snappers, Alex and Damon reading to the kids, they both did incredible jobs, just underscores the beauty of this award, but also the Bernie's component behind it. So thank you all for coming. Special shout out to my crew in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, who's watching this. If the Facebook servers go down, it's because of my family and friends, so I appreciate it. So at this point, we want to invite the number 65 honor roll winners to join us in the front of the stage, if they can.
Come on up.
Come on up.
Come on up. You guys just right here. We got to see you right here. Let's line up right here.
More athletes. So the number 65 honor roll. Yeah, round of applause for all these great athletes. So the number 65 honor roll recognizes exemplary high school athletes all across Chicagoland. The honor roll is comprised of players who consistently exemplify the following values: excellence, integrity, effectiveness, teamwork, and balance. And when you think of those criteria, you also think those probably relate a lot to what the role of a long snapper is. All those things are important to their jobs, as it is to these athletes here, both on the field and off the field, and that's important to remember. So we want to honor those people who are nominated by their coach or their athletic director, and looks like we have 5 or 6 of them here today.
Here's your 2021 65 honor roll winners: Griffin Baker, Joey Fortner, Luke Granzo, Jason Hicks, Walker Heimbach, Kate Kaptrosky, Carson Kulagowski, TJ McMillan, William Meyer, Ella Mickey, Ryan Porebsky, Connor Tompkins, Tommy Van Sickle, Owen Walter. Please join me in congratulating these accomplished athletes.
Very cool, guys. Hey, congratulations to all you guys, and thank you guys for being here today. And it's really cool to have you guys a part of this award. And now we're going to get to the meat of this award. We're going to find out who the winner is.
Congratulations to all of you. All right, let's start with Cal Adomitis. Has played in 64 consecutive games. Graduated with a bachelor's degree in economics. Is now enrolled in Pitt's Katz Graduate School of Business. This year he announced his Cal's Kids initiative and raised over $100,000. His goal was 94 because that's his jersey number. Cal, please join me on the stage. And by the way, Cal used to have hair. I used to have hair, by the way, like way down to my shoulders. So did this guy until he's supporting kids with cancer. He shaved it all off. This guy's amazing. So what is it like being a long snapper, and how did you become a long snapper? Did a coach say to you, hey, I think you'd be good at this, or how did it happen?
Yeah, so honestly got to give the credit to my dad, actually. He was the first person to suggest I get into long snapping. I played fullback and tight end in high school, was on a really stacked team, and was fighting to get on the field, and my dad was like, hey, long snapping is a way to get on the field more. They're starting to give guys scholarships for that, and it was clicking for me in the summer leading up to my junior season. So I just stuck with it. Coach Powell gave me the opportunity to come to Pitt as a preferred walk-on to long snap, and really just haven't looked back since.
And you have a player on your team by the name of Kenny Pickett.
That's right.
And I said to you today, who's going to win the Heisman Trophy? You go, my quarterback, Kenny Pickett's going to win the Heisman Trophy. What is it like playing with a guy who's getting all that attention? Because it means everything you do gets even more attention.
It's awesome. You know, the whole team, this senior class I'm a part of at Pitt this year, it's been really special across the board. Just a total buy-in, and we all knew going into this season that, you know, when everybody eats, everybody eats. You know, where the success comes with the team. Kenny was exhibit A of that with the way he's handled things with the new name, image, and likeness. Bills that are going into place with the NCAA. You know, he led by example, and everyone just fell in line, and it's been shown by the way that we play this year.
Last thing, I remember when I first became friendly with Patrick, we were playing golf. I'm like, dude, like, what should I be looking for? He goes, you should not notice me out there. You should never know I was out there, because if you do, I probably did something wrong. Is that your mindset when you get on the field? Like, don't even notice me. I just did my job.
You know, initially, yes, but something I also give my dad credit for kind of planting the seed in my mind. But, you know, obviously we're proud Pittsburghers. There's a lot of history with football in Pittsburgh. And, you know, obviously you guys as Chicago people know Mike Ditka. And he revolutionized the tight end position, you know, by the way he played the game. And my dad was like, you know, you should try to do that with long snapping, you know, like make them not be able to not notice you on the field the way that, you know, Mike Ditka did that with the tight end position at Pitt and then for the Bears. And, you know, I've been trying to follow his footsteps a little bit with that. So,
congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Damon Johnson is a repeat finalist for the Mannelly Award after returning to the University of Southern California for a final season. He appeared in 55 games in his career, 4 tackles, recovered a fumble, received his bachelor's degree in sociology from USC in the spring of 2020. He is currently working on a master's degree in communication management. Damon, please come on up. So we kind of met last year, but it was over Zoom because everything was virtual. Now you get to come here. What's it like being a repeat finalist for this great award?
First of all, it's been a great opportunity to come to Chicago. Never been out here. Also, virtually, it was kind of hard to be able to be in person with people and make a connection there and go through all the activities we were able to do yesterday. So to be able to do all that was just put everything into perspective, and I really enjoyed it. And you know, great weather this weekend, and was able to meet Alex and Cal, and just enjoyed the whole weekend. So it was a great honor.
So Lance talked about he couldn't stand Arizona State because he went to Arizona. Do you feel that way about UCLA?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, there's a lot of respect for both schools. You know, we're so close, and we have a lot of friends on either team and stuff. But yeah, UCLA has a bad taste in my mouth, to be honest. Yeah.
Last thing, what's it like being a player at the University of Southern California? Because that's as big as it gets.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just the market it provides. Geographically, being near Hollywood and all the other places you can go. The schooling's been unreal, being able to network with some of the best people in the world. It's been a great honor. I love it there, and be able to represent the University of Southern California for 5 years was probably the greatest pleasure of my life. So I would not do it for anything else. So.
Has there ever been a celebrity you looked on the sideline and went, whoa, look who's on the sideline?
Yeah, so our freshman year, we were playing in the Pac-12 championship, and we won it, and we went in the locker room after, and like, we have someone that wants to say hi, and it was Will Ferrell. And you know, he came in, and he was a jokester. He was so much fun. And but there's a lot of celebrities that go on the sideline, but Will Ferrell was a cool one to be able to see him and get a picture with. So.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Alex Ward has played in each of Central Florida's last 35 games as their snapper, recording a pair of tackles, recovered a fumble. He's a 4-time American Athletic Conference All-Academic honoree. His major is mechanical engineering and has earned Dean's List accolades while a student athlete at UCF. Alex, please come on up. I got it. So we hear about the Power Five and the Group of Five and the this and that, and you guys have had an amazing program. Cincinnati's now in the playoff.
Yes, they are.
Do you feel like during this time, as you've been there and you look, hey man, you better know about Central Florida football?
Oh, absolutely. We've earned it. You know, we had 27 straight. Cal broke that record. Thank you at Pitt, 2019. Yeah, I think Boise did it for a long time, and then we stepped in and we made, the American and really Group of Five, pushed up to really a Power Six conference, or the American Power Six conference, and then, Cincinnati's finally getting the recognition that we've all deserved for a long time.
So 4-time academic, all this, and mechanical engineering.
Yes, sir.
There aren't a ton of student athletes who achieve what you've achieved on the field and achieve what you've done in the classroom. Who motivated you in that way?
I would say my grandfather, my mother's father. I'm wearing his tie pin, actually. He was fantastic in everything he did. He was an old Army engineer or Air Force engineer, and we still don't know what he did. He was that good at it. And so I looked up to him and carried on through that, what he would do.
Goals for you after football is over with mechanical engineering degree. What would you like to do?
My athletic director still picks on me today because he asked me the same question. I said I want to do whatever's fun. Whatever I want to do, I want to be able to do. And so far, that has led me to where I am now, so it's worked out. And I don't know. I'm going to take it one step at a time, be where my feet are, and be the best at what I'm doing right now.
I've always believed if you find something you're passionate about and you can get someone to pay you really well at it,
It's never work.
you'll never work a day in your life.
Yes, sir.
And that's the key to happiness. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
All right, now's the moment we've all been waiting for. I would like to get the envelope from my friend Darren, the CEO of Bernie's Book Bank. We have a video package we're going to show first, then we'll give you the winner. Let's go to the video board. Got to wait a little longer.
So Cal is one of the most positive, hardworking and dedicated teammates that I've had, and I've been very lucky to have him as my long snapper over the last 4 years.
I don't think there's a guy on this team that is respected by their teammates as much as Cal is. I mean, he's perfected his craft. He's done everything we've asked him to do, and he's gone above and beyond any expectation we could have had.
First off, he's one of the captains of our football team. And I think that tells you a lot about what his teammates feel about him as a football player and as a person. He's the best in the country and was invited to the Senior Bowl last year. He's going again this year, so that tells you that the NFL feels he's a pretty strong candidate there, and he'll get drafted to that position, which not many do. Is a football player and loves to get involved in contact, and I think that says a bunch about him. I don't think there's another specialist in the country that does what he does at practice.
I think the most important part is just being consistent. Part of your job. I know when I first was learning long snapping, they were saying, well, no one should ever know your name as a long snapper, because if they do, it means you messed up. But I like to think that in my time at Pitt, I've kind of maybe added to that a little bit by hopefully performing well enough to be recognized for this award. And it's just a lot of hard work and consistency. But if I can do it, there's plenty of young Pittsburgh kids who can follow in my footsteps.
At the University of Southern California, the Trojan football team is one of the most historic in the nation, with Heisman's, national championships, and All-Americans aplenty. But there is one award that has eluded the Trojan grasp, the Patrick Mannelly Award, presented to the nation's best long snapper.
Lately, people have been asking me what it's like to be a long snapper. With all the limelight, autographs, and pictures, to be honest, I'm just like anybody else. Yo, bro, you dropped your phone.
Damon Johnson? Do my eyes deceive me? Bro, hold up. Can you snap it to me, bro? I'm a huge fan.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Check red, check red.
Thank you, man. Oh, my gosh. Hell yes, bro. Dude, keep it up, bro.
Thank you.
Keep it up. Good luck.
Thank you.
David Johnson, big fan, bro.
What's up, man?
Yo, I carry this poster everywhere. Can you sign it, please?
Yeah, I got you.
Holy yes! Oh my God, is that Damon Johnson?
Whether it be kicking or punting or snapping, those are things that you have to have a ton of reps to be good at. You can't just walk out there and be good at that. So these guys have put in training from the time they were young.
So I started snapping in 7th grade. Before my senior year of high school, I said, hey, I'm not good enough to play tight end in college. I got this long snapping thing. Let's see where I can go with that.
Cool. This guy's an NFL level guy. He's got the length and the size that you need. His coverage ability is really good. And then his attention to detail and his craft snapping has been incredible to see.
I wanted to obviously get better as a long snapper. So trying to find my own tendencies, find my own, common mistakes that don't show up just when you're looking at film. It's about 3:30 after a practice. I'm here to break down my own film from what I did today, so I watch it before I watch it with the team.
He's got a binder, and he watches every practice snap, and he charts where his snap hits.
The progression, so I can follow 1, 2, 3, 4, follow my, if I miss high, if I overcompensate, if anything. Over here, I take notes on, what happened.
That's kind of who he is. I think he's in engineering school, so that's the guy. He created this whole deal for himself.
Best to both of you as well. To get to this level and to be a finalist for this great award is an amazing honor, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You got it.
Hand that back to him.
Yep.
All right. What a fantastic event. I'm so happy that we were able to do this in person. I want you to help me thank a few people as we close down tonight's festivities. First, I want to thank these amazing student athletes. I think you all agree with me when I say student athletes, because they're so much more than just long snappers. It's the reason why I'm so proud to have partnered with the founders. They wanted to find athletes who did more than just their great accomplishments on the field, and we've got them here, right here. So thank you. I want to thank our presenting sponsor again, Zebra Technologies. Thank you very much. I want to thank the long list of sponsors I opened the show with. Thank you. I want to thank the Chicago Legends panel. That was awesome. Frank, Lance, Sarah, thank you so much. I want to thank the 65 Honor Roll. That is one of the coolest things that Patrick came up with. And it's such a blessing to have them here with us tonight, so thank you. I got to thank him. He's the hardest working man in showbiz. And the other thing, nobody appreciates not having a hair out of place more than me and Cap. You beat me every time, buddy. I love it. David Kaplan. To the founders, I say thank you. 3 years, I cannot wait for 4. It's going to be great. I also want to thank our founder, Brian Floriani. I often say this, but it only takes one to start a movement, brother, and you did it. Thank you. All right, last but not least, and this has to be the loudest because this team is incredible. I get to come up here and talk like a talking head. They do all the work, but as you've seen, tonight was amazing. So please, the loudest round of applause for the Bernie's Book Bank team. Mark your calendars down. Next December, we're going to be right back here. These gentlemen will be invited, but they'll be playing the next day, so they probably won't come. But they're more than willing, but we hope all of you come back. All of you at home that watched and supported us, I say thank you and good night.